More all-time highs coming for us in here in the SPY. This is the ETF of the S&P 500. This is your whole market right here. Ever since we broke 695 right here for the second time, we mentioned 720 was going to be our main long-term resistance. Looks like that long-term was only about 3 weeks, that is. So we're up right against it here. Anything outside of there, we're going to let the chart kind of dictate things. So just nice whole numbers working our way up in here, but 720 is going to be our main resistance in here following this trend line. Anything to the downside, what are we going to be looking at in here? Well, it's going to be the previous highs, what's going to be 712. We also liked those 710s, the 705s, and the 702s. So keep that in mind on our way back down. But overall, nice big move in here. Looks like it was going to be unstoppable there for a minute in the overall markets. We're also going to take a look at Tesla. Tesla had a nice move in here on the day. You can see we're right up against that 50-day SMA that's currently trading at 388. That's going to be our first resistance. Anything outside of that, we're looking at the 399 or that 400 psych level, that whole area right there. To the downside, we're still looking at this lower trend line of this overall structure. You can see we tried to breach below it here for a few weeks in a row, just 3 weeks ago, but we did end up holding. So that's why we kept this overall structure on. And it looks like our support is going to be right here at this 361. Anything outside of that, we're going to be down here right around those 351s. We're also going to take a look at TLT in here. It's always nice to get a good glimpse of what the overall market's doing, what the bonds are doing, and then just pick one kind of very active ticker. So that's what we're looking at in TLT as well, just to see where our correlation is. Move up in the market, move down in bonds. That's kind of what you get when you have a normalized market. So you wouldn't necessarily say healthy, but it is normalized. So that's kind of the term that we like to use better. So bonds down, VIX down, SPY up. That's normalized market for us in here. And then you also have to take into consideration you had a nice big pop in Tesla as well. I think the one stock, though, that was really kind of confusing in here today was NVIDIA, because you thought that you were going to get that move up with Tesla at least, or at least a sympathy play from somewhere in here from AMD, something. It never came, even though it got beat up and went down to those 198s, had that quick little $3 pop about midday, still could not hold that, just kind of lingering the rest of the day, a few dollars here and there. So overall, we were trading below the 200 psych level, down around almost 5% on the day from yesterday's close. Let's see what happens in here. But to the upside, we still like the 212s as our major resistance. Anything outside of there, we're going to be looking at the 216 all-time highs and then go on from there. But to the downside in here, what are we looking at? 195, 191. That's going to be your first support and your 9-day EMA in here. And then outside of there, it's going to be this 50-day SMA or that 185 level, whichever of those do come first. So let's see what happens overall in the markets, but still, we'll take what we can get in here. Nice big green day overall. Let's see what happens with our Apple earnings as we go into pre-market tomorrow, see how that's going to shake things up to the up or to the downside in here. And then we're going to play these things accordingly.